Hello, everybody. Are we good to go?
Yep, looks like it.
Okay. Welcome to the Community Conversations Town Hall hosted by the Montrose Daily Press. We'll be having a presentation on our new platform called NABUR. I'm not going to give too much away on that. I'll let the team do that. But this is just one of many things that the Montrose Daily Press will be doing in 2021. We started a little bit early with our new podcast, Montrose Fresh. So if you haven't seen that, go to your favorite podcast platform, and sign up for that. But I really appreciate everybody showing up. I'm excited about this project and the other projects that we have coming up. So I'm going to turn this over to Justin Tubbs, our managing editor, and he'll talk about how this will affect our newsroom and other things. So thank you again for coming.
Yeah, just before we give a presentation here that kind of talks about NABUR a little bit, I just wanted to talk about how excited I am about it. As everybody knows, misinformation is pretty rampant today, and part of why we launched this platform is to fight misinformation in our communities, and the way we do that is by having a community conversations platform that's moderated by professional journalists. And so we're really excited, and we think that this will be a really good way that we can fight misinformation within our community. Not only will it be helpful for you as the users, but it'll be helpful for us as well as journalists. You'll help give us ideas for what's going on in our community. You'll help us keep our finger to the pulse. And like I said, I'm just really, and I'll turn it over to the next speaker.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sean Fitzpatrick. I'm the digital director for WIC Communications, and very excited to have you here. I'm based out of Tucson, Arizona, but spent a lot of time in Montrose. In fact, I was sharing with someone earlier that my wife and I recently bought a little bit of land in Ridgeway, so we're looking forward to spending even more time there. But very briefly, the NABUR project is really our venture at WIC Communications to help provide an alternative social media platform where the journalists can help facilitate dialogue in the community, especially on subjects that maybe aren't so welcome on the traditional social media, the controversial subjects. And very briefly, NABUR stands for Neighborhood Alliance for Better Understanding and Respect. And we really appreciate you taking time to join us. The project has really attracted a lot of attention within the journalism community and just around the country in general. Google has helped support us with funding because they're very interested in seeing how the impact of journalists' moderated forums can really help bring us together rather than tear us apart. One of those things that we're going to be doing is just sharing a little bit of information because our big mantra is 2 ears, 1 mouth. So I'm going to make myself shut up here pretty quickly, and we're going to share a little bit of a recap of the voice that those of you who participated in our community conversation survey provided. And give you a little bit of an overview of what the Montrose and surrounding area community is interested in around community conversations, give you a brief tour of the NABUR platform, and then have a little bit of time to have conversations amongst ourselves, and then you'll be following up with some next steps. So I'd like to go ahead and invite Kelsey Hess, our journalist product manager for the Montrose Daily Press, up on stage. And she'll walk through the community conversation survey and then a brief overview. So take it away, Kelsey.
Thank you, Sean. Hi, everyone. It's been a huge pleasure working with the Montrose community and all of you to sort of get to the bottom of what Montrose cares about and how this platform can reflect all of those interests. So I'm going to share my screen. So as we embark in this big social media discussion, we wanted to get a sense of what social media platforms people are currently using. So as expected, Facebook is a big one. it sort of falls from there. We see that with YouTube, there's big demand for video, which the Montrose Daily Press newsroom is currently working on more video initiatives for the community. But it was good for us to get an idea for what platforms are currently in use and are preferred. And this was a question on our survey. What is your biggest question or area of concern as related to Montrose? So hopefully you all can see this clearly enough. It's good for us to ask these questions. A lot of people are concerned about sustainable growth as the city continues expanding, local government, the lack of affordable housing. So we hear all of this, and we're hoping to provide a venue for there to be some more discussion on this. But the big discussion that we had was, what kind of topics do you like to discuss? So this was not specific to news, but I broke it up for easier readability. So when we asked what types of topics do you like to discuss, from over 250 survey respondents, 52 said news, 51 said news and specified local. So we definitely see that there's a big appetite for local news, which is exciting. Over here, what topics do you like to discuss? This gets into what makes Montrose a community. So community events, sports, the reading community we found is especially strong out here. So as we started to get a sense of what the different interests are of the community, we started to be in a better position to create the different discussion groups for the platform that we're launching.
Introducing NABUR, the Neighborhood Alliance for Better Understanding and Respect. We bridge the gap between local news and social media through quality community journalism. NABUR is your trusted, free online forum where you can connect with your community, focus on facts, and make a difference. Join the conversation today.
Go to neighbor.montrosepress.com or download our Montrose Daily Press app.
Basically the items in the presentation video are very similar to what I, shared and what Justin had shared as well. Just that this is a safe place that we're really working on creating for the community to exchange, ideas, opinions, have debates. We're really looking for civil debates. We're not saying everybody needs to parrot the same thing. In fact, a healthy debate is a very good thing. But as Justin mentioned, we are going to be very diligent about calling out, facts and calling out fiction, when those things come up, and really trying to facilitate a better conversation. But one of the things that we're really focused on this evening, after we do this presentation, is to get you all kind of talking amongst each other and with the Montrose Daily Press staff, and with some of the specialists in the different topic areas that have been so kind to join us, and get the conversation going during this virtual town hall at the individual tables. But more importantly, well, not even more importantly, but as importantly, we're going to be sending you an invite. You'll be the first folks invited to the NABUR social media platform to set up an account and basically continue those conversations and hopefully get us off to a really good, healthy start. So Kelsey, you want to go ahead and do the screen share and talk us through some of the fundamentals?
Sure. I guess we'll start here. So this is what you'll see once you make an account for the NABUR platform. But when you sign up, there are some communities that you'll default already be added to, like the community bulletin, COVID-19 information updates. But if you wanted to join the recreation page, for example, you'll be able to keep track of communities that you're part of. You would join that community, and then you'll see updates from this page on your feed. If you want to leave the community, you simply hit leave, and then you're out of it. So that's just overview on how communities works. Now the essence of this is the posting. Once you click the discussion, this area down here will appear. So you can almost think of it, if you're writing a headline for your post, or sort of a grabby way to sum up the essence of what you're saying. So, top level, what's on your mind, and then feel free to expand here. You have bullet points, you can link things. We highly encourage sources. We're probably going to ask eventually, so it's fun when we're able to share all of the ways that we're getting different information. If you have a question, that might be a really good fit for a poll. You can ask your question here, create options, and ask when you're ready. Now, the main point for both of these is just make sure before you post that you're specifying what community you want this to go to. And so if I'm posting about COVID, I'll click that, write something, and post. The last thing to keep in mind is just your activity score. This is where you'll be able to keep track of your contributions, how active you are on the site, and you'll be able to see who's engaged in the platform. The last thing is just before you post, take a look at our guidelines, and that might save some back and forth if something is against our guidelines. We're just hoping to create a positive experience and a platform for the community.
So thanks. One of the things that we're adding to the platform, because we realize that the posting tool is not the most intuitive thing in the world. The platform is on a hosted platform called Tribe. So to a certain extent, we're a little bit at the mercy of the choices they're making. But we've been working closely with them to make enhancements to make it even easier. And we are implementing a help tool. The one thing that people always forget to do is to choose a discussion group in which to post, and it's not the most straightforward thing in the world. Basically, the biggest thing we want to do is just really start to cultivate a healthy debate, a healthy dialogue. And as you're communicating here, Kelsey and I aren't going to take too much more time so that you can get into the conversations. As those of you who came early may have noticed, you can basically double click on any chair at the table, and the tables are set up to mimic the groups that you'll find on the NABUR platform. So what we're hoping is that you guys will be able to get the conversation going at the tables and then take that off into the other areas. So with that, basically.
Real quick, Sean, we have a question in the chat. It says, how does NABUR control access to avoid trolls? I think that's an important.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for pointing that out. So one of the key concepts and the thing that really has a lot of interest around the journalism community and the country in general is the role of our journalist product managers and our newsroom. So we're really monitoring this closely, and this is an experiment. There's nothing quite like this going on. So we're starting out with what's called post moderation, which is what everyone's used to with traditional social media, which people can post instantly, but if there's a complaint or there's a problem, it can be removed. We're really looking forward to getting the feedback from you all and the rest of the community on what dynamics are working, which need to be worked on. So when it comes to trolls, and I should mention, we have launched the NABUR platform in 3 other locations within WIC. Our first ones were in Green Valley, Arizona, outside of Tucson, Wenatchee, Washington, and then also Sierra Vista, Arizona. And so we've had a really good experience with our journalist product managers in our newsrooms, really controlling people who are abusive, giving them a warning. It's all in the guidelines, and then kicking them out if people aren't going to be civil. And having a debate, you can be civil and still have a debate. That's really what we focus on. Yeah, Dennis? You're on mute, Dennis.
Thanks, Sean. Is NABUR just for Montrose, or is this experiment happening elsewhere too?
Oh, okay. So I think I was able to touch on that. We are currently recruiting for a journalist product manager in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and Wahpeton, North Dakota, combined because geographically they're very close. But each time we're learning something new, and so this launch of NABUR is taking the learnings we've had from the previous and rolling them up. Hey, Justin.
Hey, and I think it's just really important that we specify that, this version of NABUR that we're launching is Montrose centric. So this is just for our community. We're not looking for people from outside our community to join this. This is just very hyper local.
Yeah, and we're also looking for you all in the community to help us define, what a community is. A community is a topic of interest, like dark skies or food. A community is a town, such as Montrose or Ridgeway or Ouray. And so we want to make sure that we're serving the community in the way that you all define community. As Nextdoor has demonstrated, community can be as small as your next door neighbors, and that's something that we're interested in exploring as well. So really, like I said, we're really hoping to do 2 ears, 1 mouth, is spend twice as much time listening to what you all have to say, and including story ideas, for coverage. Really good, asking good questions that our journalists can go out and get answers for you. Yeah, Dennis.
I think we need to clarify too. We do have somebody in here from Crawford. I think we'll get some people from Delta, which is, really close here, Sean. And I think, my opinion is that this is open for them as well, because we're not launching one in Delta.
Right. No, absolutely. And especially as you all are going to be, early, we're getting rid of the word users. You're going to be our early neighbors who are going to be really kicking the tires on the platform. We encourage you to let us know, like, what are there communities that we're not representing? Are there are there overlooked communities that we need to provide a space for? We're exploring, for example, in Sierra Vista, providing some private areas of NABUR where, like the community college or the local school district, where the parents and the teachers can have conversations with each other. So, but it is very important that we do have oversight and not just allow everybody to create their own little private community, because that could go badly very quickly. Anything else there, Dennis?
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going to go ahead and get off the stage and really thank you all for coming once again. We have members of the Montrose Daily Press staff here at the tables. We also really want to thank our specialists in the different areas for coming out. And we're looking forward to getting your feedback on how we can help, serve your specific area of interest. But for now, I'll just say thank you, and let's go ahead and spend some time talking to each other.